Hi, I am John Coles, the managing broker of KW Fairfax Gateway and Reston. And today we're going over the Maryland Realtors or MAR Property Inspection Notice. So this is the form that occurs after you have done your home inspection. We're putting in the name of the buyer, the seller, and the property address. Buyer and seller are hereby notified that the repairs of the property may require that the individuals engaged to perform such repairs must be duly licensed, meaning licensed to perform the repairs. The inspection provided herein are not for the purpose of making items of routine maintenance and or cosmetic nature of the subject of further negotiations between buyer and seller. So again, it's for repairs. And again, this notice follows the property inspection addendum, which was part of the contract. This notice is designed to assist buyers and sellers in the communication of home inspection results, so again, home inspection results, and responses, and is intended for use with the Maryland Realtors sales contract and the property inspection addendum. Property inspection addendum specifies the time periods agreed upon the parties for any action, response, or notice. So this form always looks intimidating in the beginning, but it's very well laid out. So number one, we're saying, all right, we did structural and we did radon and we did wood destroying insect. We're checking the inspections that we completed. So number one is the notice from buyer to seller. And the buyer says, nope, this is unsatisfactory. We don't want to buy the property. We are not asking for corrective actions from the seller, and we're terminating the contract. Or paragraph B, be careful. The buyer has attached a copy of the entire inspection report and requests that the following list of unsatisfactory conditions be repaired, corrected by seller, and or credit given. And as you're filling this out, we want to be very specific of what we're asking. So we might be asking that um, uh, the leaking kitchen sink um, be repaired by a licensed contractor, plumber. Oops. And this might be on page 5 of the inspection report. We want to be very specific again of what we want done and how we want it done. And then the buyer signs it on these lines. Now, we use the same inspection repair back and forth multiple times. And here this seller, again, response from seller to buyer, they can check the box that they agree to the repairs above. They will not complete any, or they'll complete some. And again, if you're the listing agent, be very specific. And or they're going to give a credit of however many dollars. And then the sellers sign this and return it back to the buyer agent. Number 4, now the buyer has a chance to respond. And the buyer, having reviewed in paragraph 3 that the seller will not complete any of the corrective actions or agree to some of their corrective actions or a credit, the buyer can accept the response and waive the corrective actions and move ahead with settlement. And or accept the seller's offer and move forward, Or this is where the buyer can terminate the contract, or the buyer can go back and have a different list of things that they want to be fixed. And then again, it's signed by the buyer at this point. The buyer agent then delivers it to the listing agent. And on the next page, response from the seller to the buyer from the previous paragraph. They can accept the counteroffer. Or here, notice it's different that the seller can terminate the contract in this situation. Or they can propose another counteroffer signed by the seller. And then we jump down to number 6, which is response from buyer to seller's response of the previous paragraph. The buyer can accept the counteroffer or they can terminate the contract. And then again, buyer signature here and all other terms remain in a full force and effect, meaning this is the last straw. Buyer can say, yep, we're okay with the last thing that the seller said in 5C, or nope, we're done, we're terminating the contract. So I know the form looks a little bit intimidating. It doesn't all get filled out at once. There's a lot of back and forth with this form, and it does make it pretty easy as you go through the negotiation. It basically walks you through the negotiation to keep everybody on the same page. That is your MAR property inspection notice. And stay tuned for more videos of the rest of the MAR contracts.